I am Brandon Gilliland. I'm a telecommunicator dispatcher at ChatComm 911. I've been here for about 4 years.
Can you tell us a little bit about your career or personal background?
Well, I graduated high school in 2011, and at the time, my main focus was actually on marching band. I played trombone in high school, and I wanted to continue that in college. But as I was starting to go into college, I realized, hey, I'm not exactly going to be able to make a career out of this. And so I started looking a little more into, what to do after college. What could I do with a college degree? And I saw that the university that I was going to at the time, University of West Georgia, they had a criminology degree. And I decided I would see what I could do with a law enforcement degree. So I went with criminology. I went through I got my education there. I graduated in around 2016 with a bachelor's. And from there, I decided, in the meantime, I needed to do something before I found the job. So I went into working at a shipping depot in Roswell. And while I was doing that, I was looking around at local jurisdictions. I was putting in applications with local police departments. My hometown ball ground, I did one for Forsyth County Sheriff's, Cherokee County Sheriff's, a couple of other places. Unfortunately, at the time, there was a bit of kind of a hiring slump. There wasn't a lot of people hiring, and the people that they were hiring, they wanted people with prior experience, either Army or military or police. So unfortunately, as someone who was fresh out of college and never, even been inside a police car, I didn't get very far with that. While I was working at the depot, my aunt, she was working a part-time job here as a dispatcher, and she clued me in that they were hiring. So I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a shot. I went in for the interview, went in for the little orientation. Things went pretty good. They called me back for a second interview, and after it went well. And after that, it was a couple hours, and I got an email from them, and they offered me a job. So I accepted, and that's pretty much how I started working here.
Can you explain your role and what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, as a telecommunicator dispatcher, as one would expect for anyone who really imagines the 911 center, we take phone calls from citizens or anyone dialing 911, and we process those calls, and then we dispatch those calls, either police, fire, EMS, to the appropriate agencies. We also take calls from alarm companies for fire or medical or burglary alarms. We reach out to proper agencies if something that we get isn't in our jurisdiction. Pretty much anything to do with the phones or the radios is basically what we cover. We also co-opt with the cities in emergency situations. They have their EOC nearby, and when there's a major incident such as a natural disaster or major storm that comes through, we co-opt with them to make sure that the cities are covered. And there's a lot of interaction between the cities and the dispatch center on that too.
What have you learned from being in your position? Has there been anything surprising or any favorite parts?
I would say that one of the biggest surprises was just how wildly varying that calls can get. There's some people who are just calling because their neighbors are playing music too loud, or someone isn't cleaning up after their pets. And then we have calls that are high intensity situations. People are in mortal danger. People need emergency medical care, things like that. And I wouldn't say it's just like, obviously, you get those kind of calls, but it's just, it's like you're taking a call for noise complaint, and 5 minutes later, you're talking to someone through CPR over the phone. And that varying was a big surprise, and it takes, it's still something that one doesn't get used to because you just don't know what to expect in there.
What has kept you working here at IXP?
I think the biggest is they look out for their employees, the camaraderie between coworkers, and just kind of the sense that you're doing something good, that you're helping people.
What are your future professional goals? Have they changed since being here at IXP? Do you feel like you'll have opportunities to attain them here?
When I first started here, I definitely thought that, I was just going to be here for a stepping stone, I move on. But as I got acclimated, as I got trained, I started feeling like this was the right step in the right direction for me. I definitely don't have any goals of leaving or moving on. As far as my professional future, I've been thinking about becoming a supervisor or a trainer. Most likely a trainer, because I feel like that's a lot what I do on the floor, is helping out new people and just generally helping people get acclimated to it. And I think that may be what's in my future. I think it's very possible, but again, I haven't really made any major consideration because I like where I am right now and I enjoy what I do. So,
do you have any advice for someone looking to work at IXP?
I feel like it wouldn't be enough just to say be ready, but definitely go in there without any super solid expectations. Because again, you don't really know what to expect when you come in. And for someone who's coming in, you can make all the preparation you want, but just be ready for them to change on a moment's notice, because the moment you get that hot call, the moment you get that call where you need to act, you got to be ready to expect the unexpected. But also don't think you're doing in this alone. You have an entire shift behind you, and if you need help, ask for help.